All right, we got 3 more freestyle Olympics brackets. We got Kyle Dake, we got Kayla Miracle, we got Mason Parris. Starting with Kyle Dake, why are there 18 people in this bracket, Christian?
Okay, there's 18 people in this bracket because, all right, we had a little snip-snap situation because they said, Kadi, you're not in. Magomed could be Kadi Magomedov. They said, you can't wrestle, Russia stuff, whatever, he's from Belarus. They kicked him out, and they let Frank Chamizo in. Okay, well then, they said, actually, Kadi, why don't you come on? And so they let him come, but they didn't kick Chamizo out, so that was one. And then they have this refugee that they're allowed like 1 per Olympics or 1 per style, and that there's one of those, so that makes it to 18. So yeah, that's a little weird. Any other questions?
How's Kyle Dake's draw?
Kyle Dake, I mean, it is immaculate. All the main threats are away from him. Everyone that was unseeded that we were most worried about is on the other side. We'll start with Kyle Dake. He has Montero first of Venezuela. This should be a pretty simple match for Kyle Dake. This guy does not have near the accolades of Kyle. He'll be a massive favorite. And then it looks like he'll have either Imami of Iran or Chamizo of Italy, formerly Cuba, in his quarterfinal match. It'll depend on how those matches play out. I don't know. You were asking who I would favor. I'd probably say Imami just because Chamizo's not looked great of late, but I do think Chamizo's better, but for what it's worth. So Dake's going to have a tough quarter. And then we didn't know who his quarterfinal match would be, but then his semi is going to be either Takatani or Sabalov. And, you know, Takatani I think is a tougher matchup, and I think he'll probably make it to Dake, but Sabalov is a world champion, and obviously...
He's a guy Jordan Burroughs has wrestled in the World Finals before, veteran. Been around for a long time.
Been around a long time, really good. But as far as the biggest threats to Kyle Dake, they're all down below, and this bottom quarter is ridiculous.
It makes my head explode.
It's insane. So Zhamalov and Kadi Magomedov, if you watch my video, I said these are the 2 biggest threats to Kyle Dake. They're wrestling in the very first round. It's actually
like a pigtail.
It's a pigtail. It's a pigtail.
Because there's 18 people in the bracket.
Yeah,
so.
It's all wacky looking. All the bracket nerds are gonna freak out when they see this one. So you got those 2 wrestling, Zhamalov of Uzbekistan and Kadi Magomedov of Belarus. Then the winner of that gets multiple world silver medalist Salkazanov. And then the winner of that will get Bayramov or Valiev. That's all in this quarter down here. We haven't even gotten to the other side.
It's absurd.
Okay, so there's like 6 elite wrestlers there. Only one's gonna make it out. And then out top, it's gonna be either, I think Rasidin or Kugi Metsidis of Greece that makes that other semi. So way thinner on that quarter. It's gonna be a bloodbath down below. Kyle Dake's away from all of it. He's gonna have good guys along the way, but the heat is down in that bottom quarter. So honestly, I predicted that Kyle Dake was going to have an insane first round match just because the probability was with Kadi and Zhamalov and Chamizo randomly drawn in, there were well over 50% of these guys were really tough, but he wound up with probably maybe the best guy you could get that's unseeded. So great draw for Kyle Dake.
How many baguettes on a scale of 1 to 10 would you give this draw?
This is like 3 escargot in terms of insanity, and then you've got a couple frog legs for craziness.
I'm not familiar with the scales of those.
I know, but they're just sort of strange foods for us to eat as Americans. Okay. But for Kyle, I say this is a 9er. 9 baguettes, yeah. It's not ideal that Chamizo's right there in the mix and Imami. But we knew Imami was going to be there.
I'll give it an 8. I would give it a 9 if he was on the opposite side quarter. Actually, no, because then he'd be on the same side as Kadi and Zamalov. I'm going to take it back.
Yeah, take it back. He
is a 9.
It's a 9. It's a 9 baguette day. Just sometimes you got to wake up and eat the baguettes.
I'm running on very little sleep. All right.
He is.
Kayla Miracle. How's her draw looking?
Kayla's is solid. She's got Bas of Turkey first round. She's really good. Not as accomplished on the senior level as Kayla, no doubt about that, but multiple age level medals and championships. She's very young, obviously. She was a U23 world champion in 2023. This is going to be a really tough early test for Kayla. Winnable, I would say on paper, Kayla is a favorite, but it's not by a significant margin. This is going to be a tight one right away for Kayla Miracle. And then after that, we knew this would probably be the matchup. It's Tina Bakova is her likely quarterfinal opponent. Tina Bakova is the gold medal favorite. She's the top seed. She's fantastic from Kyrgyzstan. And they had a 3-point match in January between Kayla and Tina Bakova. 3 1s for Tynabakova, so not exactly a statement win there. Kayla's within the margins, but it's going to be uphill for her to get to that semifinal. If she can get past Tynabakova, all bets are off, and Kayla could go on a run and win the Olympics. But 2 really tough tests in a very wide open weight class at 62.
How many baguettes?
3.
3?
3 baguettes. It's not ideal. Boss is not a boss, but very good.
Yeah. No, okay.
Like
is
that?
a boss, but not a boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last
sure.
it's BAS.
Mason Parris, our pick to win Olympic gold at this tournament.
Yes.
How do you think his draw is?
I mean, Mukhtar is not who I would have selected right away from Mongolia. He's not yet a world medalist, I believe, but he's got some good wins, including a win over Masumi of Iran, who has beaten Mason Parris in the past. So this guy's really good for Mongolia. It's a challenging first round match, but you know these things happen. And then next round he'd have.
It's impossible to not get a challenging match at the Olympics. Nearly impossible.
It's nearly impossible. It's
It's
possible.
possible.
It can happen.
But you're always a stone's throw away from a world medalist, a world champion. They're always going to be there.
Very true. They are there, and Mukhtar's not a world medalist even at this point. He's
Fair enough.
Still really tough. Then after that, he would have Azerbaijan. What's his last name?
I don't remember.
Jones.
Jones?
I think it's Jones.
Williams. Yeah.
He beat him at the rankings tournament. We know some details. He's good, but it was like a 3 or 4 point win for Mason earlier this year.
It's 5-2.
You feel good. Feel good about that matchup. So a little more rigor than maybe we would have thought for Mason to get to Geno Petriashvili, who we expect to be in the semifinal, waiting for Mason. Although Badr Mirzaev of Uzbekistan is, well, huge. He's the big. He's like the biggest person there is.
He's so big. Next to Mihan Lopez.
And he actually beat Geno
Geno
at the rankings.
He kind of hurt him, but
Geno was pre-hurt and then got more hurt. And he was doing some Geno really didn't wrestle that match very intelligently, in my opinion. And he's great.
Badr Mirzaev pinned him, I believe, right?
He did.
Yeah.
So, and of course Mason beat Badr Mirzaev rather soundly. So we would probably prefer that matchup. But either way, I feel good. I feel kind of similarly good about every match. Like, should win. But every single one is going to be really tough to get to the
You're
final.
going to be on the edge of your seat.
Yes, you will. And so on the opposite side, you've got Zare, who is a very likely champion to emerge from that top side. He's the reigning world champion. But you also have Taha Akul opposite as well, opposite of Mason, and that's a likely semifinal match there. So, we knew that. We knew that it was going to be
all the seeds.
It was going to be Zare and Taha on one side, Mason and Geno on the other because of the seeding. And so yeah,
we've been happy about that for a while. We've been saying
Yeah.
in other previews that Geno as a potential semi is who you want to see, because Mason wrestled him at the semis at last year's Worlds. He was there to beat him. He hasn't wrestled Taha. He hasn't wrestled Zare since his come up. So this is a good spot to be in the bracket. But knowing all of what we knew with the seeds already, and now with the random draws added, what baguette would you? How many baguettes?
I'm gonna say it's another 3 baguette.
3.
I'm not super pumped to have
Yeah.
Mukhtar in round 1. Mongolians are, man, he's tricky. He's tricky, and Mason shoots a lot. And
I'll give it 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You
optimistic.
can't order half a baguette in France.
Is that true?
You tried.
I don't believe that's
They
true.
didn't let you.
I tried?
Yeah.
Why do you just make things up?
Just go with it. I made that up.
So those are the draws. Action starts tomorrow at 5 a.m. Eastern. Tonight we have semis for Aaron Brooks, Spencer Lee, Helen Maroulis, Miles Amin. A lot of Americans to root for.
him.
Anyone else?
No.
No. Okay.
Just don't.